Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pizza Motorcast. This is yours, Dave. I got a line special guest, Pro E85 driver Timothy Broke-Ass Johnson. How's it doing? How's it going, Timothy?
How's it going, Dave?
Pretty good.
How's everybody else doing on your end?
Hopefully, everyone's staying warm tonight.
Yeah, it's kind of chilly out. It is.
So now, Timothy, the last event for you guys for the year, the Nitro Streetcar Brawl, you won the event.
Yes, I was very fortunate. Very fortunate. How can I say? Everything aligned up just right. uh, I had a lot of struggle this year with my combination change. I switched over from a nitrous car to a Pro Charger, and those come with some teachings and some learnings and some ups and downs. And she finally came around. How can I say?
Wow. Well, congratulations on that win.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah. Sometimes comes late in life, but when it comes, it's still as good as it was. If you got it early, if you get it late. So.
Well, hopefully this is the start of something, good for you. That your car will be running good next year.
Oh yeah. We got a good handle on it right now. On the tune-up. It was a learning curve. Switching around, trying to give a combo. I'm a gadget man, so I never keep nothing the same. So that's probably one of my biggest downfalls. I can't keep nothing the same. I'm always going to try something new out. That's my wife called me the gadget man.
So now during off season, are you looking to do any changes to that car?
Probably. And it's all up to the better half if those changes are being able to be implemented. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's my number one sponsor. So, as far as the engine combo, that's not going to change. I probably lower the car a little more because the stance, the way I mirrored my car after one of my idols, I kind of love and adore. I'm a sportsman racer by what my desire is and who I like, and I stay true to me. And Dan Fletcher is, one of my idols that I always, kind of watched over, and that's how my car kind of mimic a lot of.
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah. I love super stock class. That's one of the classes I kind of it's affordable for me. Pro stocks and top fuel and all that. I like them, but I love it. There's a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next year you'll be gunning after Frank Morgan and Johnny B and all them, huh?
Yeah. Me and Frank are really, really, really close friends and teammates, and we help each other out. I mean, diligently on every level of life and with this car and stuff. So, I see myself probably going to be a real tougher competitor now that I don't have to really. I can concentrate more on driving than worried about the combo since I got the combo kind of intact.
Yeah, Randy Lee's got the big target on him now.
Randy Lee got a big target. Actually, the whole E85 class has a big target on everybody because any given day you can be on top of the bridge and you can get knocked off. So it's really tight net. Everybody this year really was a really tight race. It could have been anybody's race this year. Randy Lee came out swinging, though. You know, he came out swinging. I mean, I give a lot of credit to that guy, and I like how I like his demeanor and everything. He's kind of a down home guy, very humble. But the whole group is like that, We at the starting line, we hate one another when we on that bug. Once we get down on at the end of the track, man, we got big love for everybody. You know what I mean?
Yep. Then when you're coming back down the return road, you got the Kramer camp over there.
Yeah, that is the one of the best things I love about the GLD is coming back through the fans. That's the most exhilarating, especially when you come back and you're still together. If you ain't coming back told back, that's a different story. But coming back and just greeting the fans and talking to everybody, it's real humble, because especially the kids, because you see those are our next generation, and if you can lay a foundation for them, a goal and hope, and that's what it's all about.
Yeah, but I think Camp Kramer is like your biggest fans out there.
Yeah, he can cook too, I heard. Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah, he just sent me a friend request on Facebook the other day. Then I was talking to him a little bit through Messenger. He told me I got to stop by Camp Kramer next year and get some food over there.
Yeah, you got to come by us too, because Frank, man, me and Frank, we throw down over by our little camp every time we go out. So you get a chance, save a little room for coming by us too.
Yeah, I keep hearing about Frank's jerk chicken.
Yeah, jerk chicken. This weekend we're gonna go out, and I think we might have chili dogs, something different maybe.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna come by and meet all you guys. Because even Randy Lee made me promise to come by and meet all you guys. I've interviewed just about all you guys, never met anybody yet, so I need to meet all you guys.
Yeah. Like to see get a one-on-one, put the face on the person behind the phone,
Yeah, Randy said a lot of guys feel like they know me already, even though they haven't met me because of the interviews and all. But yeah, it'd be good to meet all you guys, though.
Yeah, and fortunately for me, I get to hold a trophy.
Yeah.
All along, so it's sitting right by me right now. I'm in my little shop, and the guys tell me, start taking pictures of it and stuff. So it's been a hectic day this week. Well, a hectic week for me for work and everything. But I'm gonna start sending more pictures of it. I'm gonna be more involved in it.
Now let me rewind the clock and go back in time with you. How did you get into drag racing?
Oh, used to street race back in the day. Everybody done that. I tell you how I got into this thing. Really converting my car. Cause my car was actually a street car. I had a 4-speed, and it was rock crusher in it. And I think I went 15 seconds, almost 16 seconds. It was so crawling with the little 355 in here. And that's when I got the bug, and ever since then, I just started changing stuff, I can thank Frank thousands and thousands of dollars later. It's all Frank's fault. Yeah, so I did a lot of bracket racing in it, and it just evolved from just being a bracket car. It's always been a small block car. It still is, and unfortunately, I probably never ever change it. I'm just a small block guy from the heart,
Well, thank you, Frank the Assassin Morgan, for getting him into drag racing.
Yes, I do. Constantly. It's all your fault, man.
But you wouldn't change it for anything, right?
Say that again?
I said, but you wouldn't change it for anything, right?
No, I wouldn't change a thing. I would not change a thing. I wouldn't add anything because I like the journey, even though the journey was a struggle. You wouldn't learn anything if you didn't struggle, and you wouldn't, gain anything if everything came easy to you. So I embrace the struggle, and I'm just a student of the craft on every level.
So how long you been running with the Pro E85 guys now?
Okay, I remember. Good question. So I think I'm going on 5 years now. But I mean, me physically been in this group about 5 years. But I've always, me and Frank, Frank used to crew chief with Clarence prior to that. So it's pretty much when the group pretty much started, basically. And then me and Frank pretty much together said, look, I want to get in the group. And we just did it at the same time, Yeah, I couldn't get the timetable wrong, but it could be 6 years, I know we ain't been with them the whole 10.
Now is Wally Sutherland part of the Broke Ass Brothers now?
Yes, excited to hear that. Glad that he wanted to be involved, and now we got 3 people to kind of go after Randy Lee a little bit on different angles,
Yeah.
Yeah, Wally's a good guy too. He's a small block guy too. Another small block car. There's not many in the group. That's one thing about it. There's not really many small blocks in there. It's 1, 2, 3. I think only 4 of us. 5. I forgot about Martin. Yeah. So we're real on the power. And on the inches, I'm only 406.
Yeah, it's nice to see all the different kind of cars in the group though.
Yeah, and really nice looking cars. That's one thing that really stands out. The cars look really nice. They stand out. They look like they drive them on the street, and they do great big wheelies. I kind of tame mine down a little bit. Mine used to really hit the bumper real hard. But I bent up some stuff, so wife was like, calm that thing down until you get your combo right. So I'm gonna loosen it up a little bit because I put an anti-roll bar on it. All these years I never needed one, and as the car started adding more power, it's starting to show that it needed it. So I ended up putting an anti-roll bar on it.
Yeah, the fans love to see you guys go up on the 2 wheels.
Yeah, and long burnouts, really long burnouts. I think between Frank and Mike Sisson and I think even Johnny B. Oh no, Martin, another one loves doing extremely long burnout.
How about Rich Burnout Black?
Yeah, he gets it done. But you know what? For him to have that name, he hasn't got that award yet. I don't think. That's one of the things everybody teases him about.
Yeah, you got that nickname Burnout.
Yeah. That's another nice looking car.
Yeah, there's so many nice looking cars. Dwayne Waldrop's got a nice car. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yep. And his car been around for a while too. I used to follow him for years when he was running that MCNA modified super stock. Yeah. Yep.
And
Him and Aaron Shepard.
then Rob Overkill Vinziano's got a beautiful car. Yeah, man. Which that car is probably going to be a car to watch for. Eventually, that car is going to be getting up there in speed.
Say that again.
I think Rob's car is going to be a car to watch for. He's going to get that thing dialed in.
Oh yeah. I like a lot of the two other guys that we missed this year. Didn't see a lot of was Steve Hoke and Keller. Those are two guys that that was champions back to back that kind of missed this year. So they're gonna make a comeback this next year. So the whole class is all really getting tight knit and very competitive from round to round. So any day, any outing in any round, it could be game changing. I think this next year, this 2020 coming up season, the points lead's going to probably make changes back and forth, and all in the middle is where we're really battling at this year. I think that's going to happen all over again. That really makes the whole Pro 85 really more that much competitive because one another down the track trying to find it, couldn't find it, and lo and behold, Donnie Miller took one off of Randy Brown's car and said, "Look, go on and go race. Take it off his car. You go on and go race." That's the kind of family we got going on over here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I've heard. Someone could be going against you in the next round, and you need a part, and they'll give you a part.
Oh yeah, sometimes they take part off their car because they, especially if they got knocked off. Well, go ahead and use mine and go keep racing. Let's just also keep the fans and keep the program going.
Yep. So now, besides the one person you mentioned being, inspirational to you for drag racing, do you have any other people in drag racing that inspire you?
Yeah, I like Peter Biondo. Warren Johnson, one of my favorites. Top Fuel, who doesn't like Big Daddy? I mean, I go back in the grassroots where it all started. John Force, who doesn't like him? He's so colorful and gullible, and I mean, he got so many accolades go on and on.
Oh yeah,
But
you gotta love John Force the story how he came up from hardly nothing to where he is now.
Yeah.
Now, when you were younger, did you go watch drag racing?
Yeah, my dad took me to US 30, before it started, going downhill. And a couple of local events down in Huntsville, Alabama years ago, when I was a kid. But most of the stuff I did was, street racing, And then as I got older enough to go to the U.S. Nationals, I would go there on my own, with me, the wife, the kid. That was something I always loved going every year. Once a year, we would get on the road and go out there at least 2 days.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to go to US 30 drag ship when they're open to them because my daddy would take me there.
Yeah, that's a historical track. It's a shame they never could, revitalize it and try to get it going. But it is what it is. It's got a lot of houses and stuff over there now. It'll be just like Byron is right now, where infrastructure is building close around the tracks where it ain't gonna let you race. Probably have a curfew and cap curfew off where you can't even race after 9 o'clock. So
Yeah, they don't even have night lights for Byron.
I was unfortunate. That's a good track too. I think my favorite track is 41. Actually, I'll back that up. My favorite track is Norwalk. I love Norwalk. We used to go to Norwalk once a year, bracket race bonanza, and then the Pontiac show. I'm sorry, twice a year in the Pontiac event. And you talking about a good bracket race, 3-4 days of beating your car up all the way to 2:00 in the morning. That is some extreme amount of racing. And there's some heavy hitters up in there, Buckeye, perfect packages back to back, That's kind of stuff, I like. I kind of stay to my, my ground roots,
Yeah.
in my class. I just like sportsman racing, and I love bracket racing too,
So Norwalk, Ohio, that would be your favorite track to run on?
Yeah, then 41, since it's so local here, I love this track here. But to be honest with you, GLD, I go there in a wind, bam, all day long. GLD. I love the fans. I love the owners. They treat us well. The people are all. I mean, it's just a homestead place to go and bracket racing and just race your car.
Yeah, and then you got the return road that goes right past the fans at GLD, so you can't beat that. A lot of
A lot of tracks ain't like that.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, a lot of tracks ain't like that. Nope. That's one good thing about it. After you see him go down the track and he comes back, oh, that was that guy that did that big wheel stand. I know our tracks get that. Most tracks, everything's go around the backside of it. The grandstands.
Yeah, that's why it's good for you guys, to stop after the first round and stop right there on the return roll and throw stuff out and whatever.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Sign some autographs, throw some shirts out, all that good stuff.
Yeah, that's the other thing. We give a lot of memorabilia to the fans. Hero pictures, we sign autographs, a lot of shirts, a lot of swag. I mean, some of the swag we got, my wife keeps telling me, you need to stop buying stuff. You got enough. I can't. I'm a hat guy, and everywhere I go, I'm going to buy a hat. And I got so many hats, I don't know. That's just my nature, I guess.
Now you guys got posters for the group too?
Yeah. I got two different posters. I got the original one that they did with the first group, and also have the new one that we just did this year.
Yeah, I'll have to get me one of those.
Okay, I got one over here with your name on it. I will save it for you.
Awesome. Okay, now next question is, when you first started drag racing, with your family involved?
My wife, yeah, my wife and son. Now, my son, he only went because I asked. He don't care for it too much. If he did, I'll probably have two of these.
Yeah.
He's I almost had to get a DNA to see if this was my kid, but he don't prefer it. I mean, he's happy for me, but this ain't, this. I understand that. But my wife is my number one fan. She's my best friend, my rock. We do everything together. I wouldn't be able to do any of this without her. So most of the involvement in this process is through her.
So how old is your son now?
Oh, my son, he's in his 30s. Now, I thought he was going to turn around about maybe 4 years ago. He bought a Camaro. And I'm like, oh, man, he bought a Camaro. Let's put a supercharger on this. Okay, all that. Oh. And now he went back to a sedan again. So it is what it is.
Now your son is he married?
No family. That's the other thing we waiting on with him. He's a bachelor. He's never no kids. He's a bachelor. He's so wrapped up in his career that right now, that's a a real touchy subject. He don't like dwelling in that too deep. But I keep telling him I'm getting old, man. I want a little girl.
You need some grandkids. Maybe you get some junior dragsters out of them.
Yeah, that's what I say. Man, so Dave, you know how it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to wait on you.
Yep. So now with the car you're currently driving, what's been the quickest pass you've made with that car?
Okay, fastest I've been in the car is 8:30.
Now what track was that on?
That's at the Grove, and I really didn't run it all the way out then. I was just doing a qualifying pass, and the air was so good, and I had my little pulley on here, and the air was so good, the car just picked up. If I'd have leaned it out a little more, or even if I probably ran it all the way out the back door, it might have got probably another 10 or 2. But I knew I was going too fast. We qualified for 890, and it just I said, so this thing is going too fast. It got out about the 800, 900 mark and let it coast through there. So it made an 830 pass.
Now was that with the nitrous or the supercharger?
That's with the supercharger.
So when you ran on nitrous, what was the fastest you did with the nitrous?
No, 9.0s. 9.0s with the nitrous.
Now, what was it like to get behind the wheel for the first time and go down the drag strip? After after street racing and getting on the track, how was the first time?
Every pass is like the first time for me. I enjoy every pass, but the first pass, I tell you, my most exhilarating pass that I ever had with the car is when I first back half the car. My car, before I back half it, it would go 1050. I used to only have cow track bars and a 9-inch tire. That's the biggest tire I could put under it because it was stock suspension. So I would go 1050 with that. And that had my little 406 in it, same setup on gas. And that year, I decided to back half the car. So I back half the car and just put a 10.5W on it. First pass with it, I was at 41 because I used to run points with 66. So I went to 41 to just do some tests to see how this suspension was. And it was terrible. My 60-foot with my leaf spring setup was 140s, low 140s. And when I put that back half on there, it went to 160. I said, I could have left this thing alone. It was terrible. So I made about, 5-6 passes, didn't see no results. It still was the same. I brought it home. Next day was my points meet. And in that process, I'm looking at the car, up under the car. Why is it doing that? And I see I welded some safety Heinz protectors on there. And the bolts was wedging in the pivot points in the ladder bar. So I said, oh, that's where it's hanging up at. It ain't allowing it to pivot. So I took it apart, took the ladder bar apart, shaved it, cleaned it up, made some clearance, put it back together. Go to a points meet first day. I tell my buddy, I'm going to go to the points meet, just meet me there. First qualifying pass, they had just poured a new, I think, 660 for starting line at 66. It was a brand new concrete. I let that trigger go. I went from seeing the tree to seeing the sky. And I could hear the red limiter. Bop, 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 bop. I was so nervous. I said, oh, shift. Boom, boom, boom. It went from 1050 to 980. Just back half an hour.
Wow.
That was probably my best exhilarating pass in this car ever. Was when it did that.
Yeah,
and I was so nervous. I went to the washroom and went into the wrong washroom. So that was my story of the day. But other than that, I've seen some close calls with the car where it went up in the air and almost, scraped the wall. It's probably inches away from the wall. But that's one of my memorable passes is actually when I first back at the car.
So what's your greatest memory of being with the Pro E85 guys?
I can't say it no better much than that last race. That's got to be my best. Everybody else have theirs, but that was mine. Winning the last race, clinching the 10th spot, tying the 10th spot of the year, bringing the trophy home for the whole winter, all of those. And then I won the 570 the 2 weeks prior to that. So winning our event at GLD, that would be it for me.
Now, Timothy, when you take the car out to the track, how many crew members do you have?
Well, most of the time I'm by myself. Or my neighbor Howard would go with me. But me and Frank, we go together. We hook up together and we travel together down there. If wives don't go with us, mostly she go with me 2-day races, or if she's not doing anything, with church or something. But most of the time it's me and Frank, and we might take one or two, like my neighbor will go with us. But I got our operation set up where I can almost do everything on my own.
All right. Now, when you're at the track, do you have any pre-race rituals or superstitions at all?
No. I think playing my little music in my trailer, checking my tires, and always torquing my lug nuts down. And that's probably it. I don't have no superstition stuff that I can say I do repetitive. What I do repetitive in my driving, that I do. I'm changing that.
Now, what kind of preparation goes into getting your car ready for a weekend of drag racing?
Well, first thing I do is I fill the sail up, fill my jugs up for the trailer, check all the tires, put the car on the lift, look on the bottom, make sure nothing loose, check my flywheel, starter bolts. Lately, Frank had an incident with the starter, so I added that into it. And all my header bolts, they tend to want to back out sometimes. And with this Pro Charge, I also check that crank pulley. That's about it. Then I load her up, back the trailer up off the driveway, and start her up and put her in the trailer.
And it's off to the races.
Yeah, go off to the races. I do clear all my data out of my race pack. I am the gadget guy. I use that stuff to tune, see how the car is performing, let me know what I did wrong, or if something's going bad. Or if I try to keep a log on stuff, from run to run, from temperatures where the car, I'm just trying to keep a baseline literature on it.
All right, now I'm gonna ask you a few fun questions here now. Outside of drag racing, you have any other hobbies?
I love cutting my grass. That's that's my honey-do list that I love to do. But I do all kind of stuff, as far as working around the house. I used to be in ham radio and CB radio real heavy back in the day. But I can't have two hobbies. It's, too many hobbies,
Do you have a most embarrassing moment on the track?
Yeah, like I probably told you, I went in the wrong bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably the most embarrassing.
Yeah, that would.
Luckily, nobody didn't, catch me, but everybody in America, I was the one that was in there.
All right, so what's your favorite food to eat?
Well, I'm a heavy Mexican. Spanish food. I like spicy food. That's my favorite. Actually, that is my favorite.
Favorite beverage?
I like wine. I like Modelo beer.
Now, how about non-alcoholic?
My Pepsi.
You're a Pepsi guy, huh?
Yeah.
Now, Timothy, what's your favorite movie of all time?
Oh, you gonna laugh.
Come on, what is it?
My Cousin Vinny.
Oh, that was a good movie. I like that movie.
Yeah, that's my favorite movie. My wife says every time around Thanksgiving this movie come out, you watch that. I like it.
Yeah, that was a funny movie.
Yeah.
So now you're talking about listening to music in the trailer. What's your favorite music to listen to?
Dave, you wouldn't believe. I listen to everything, to be honest with you. I love blues. I love rock and roll. I listen to gospel, country, jazz. My wife is big jazz, very big jazz fan. So I gotta listen to that all the time. So Will Downing is probably one of the best musicians, singer, and so I don't have one that I could say. My best favorite guitarist is Stevie Ray Vaughan. Jimi Hendrix, another one I love. So I like everything, Dave. I can't just say one thing better than the other because it depends on the mood I'm in.
Right.
I'm so flexible. I can pop, old rap, Run DMC old stuff, stuff like that. But no hardcore. I like, Megadeth. I used to listen to that.
Yeah, it's good to have it's good to have open mind in music.
Yeah, man. That's just me. That's just me, Dave.
Now, when you were a kid growing up, what was your favorite cartoon to watch?
Cartoon?
Yeah.
Well, I like Popeye, Bugs Bunny.
Roadrunner.
Yeah. Who don't like Roadrunner?
Yeah. Now, if you weren't drag racing, what do you think you'd be doing with your life?
Well, I've always been in the cars, so I don't know, because I was fascinated by cars in my, very young, because my dad and my uncles, they had muscle cars when I was growing up, so I couldn't see myself not, being in the cars, because I was around it all the time.
Right, so it would still have something to do with cars.
Always. My father-in-law, he was diesel mechanic. My dad was, same thing. So I couldn't see myself not being in the cars, because that's what I was always around.
Right.
Well, but, like I said, I did ham radio, CDs, real heavy. I don't know. Dave, I don't know. I'd probably building houses.
Well, Timothy, I want to thank you very much for taking time to do the interview. You have any final words before we close out?
Well, Dave, I thank you. I'm sorry I've been took this long to get contact with me and do this. Pushing you off, but it kind of brought out the best of me, in a little short time, and I appreciate your time. I appreciate everybody in the E85 family. I bless those guys. I bless our fans, because we love them to come out every year. We want them to be better and better, and the group to be better. I won't